Hey there everyone, this is Michael Dougal, and during this video I'm going to update you entirely on our real estate market here in the Greater Toronto Area. I'm really excited because we have all the statistics for November as far as listings sold and active listings on the MLS. So that's what we're going to go over in this video. I'm shooting this video on December 8th, 2021, and let's jump right into this first chart here where we have the Greater Toronto Area numbers from January up to November. So we're looking at the number of sales, the number of active listings, our MOI, which means months of inventory, basically the strength of the market, our average price, and our days on market. And usually around this time of the year, we expect to see the market kind of winding down, the average price coming down a little bit, the days on market extending, perhaps the months of inventory increasing. But this market is very unusual. We are definitely not following the same sort of seasonal real estate cycle that we experienced from 2012 to 2016. So let's jump right into it. Looking at the number of sales, as we can see in January, it was at a low point, only about 7,000, and then it increased up till March. It slowly started to decrease. You notice in June it was 11,000, and then from July up till now, the number of sales has pretty much been around 9,000, you can say. In October, there was 9,783, but the main reason for that was because there were more new listings that were coming on the market. And if we look at active listings, so these are properties which are on the market, you can say our supply of homes that buyers are able to purchase. So if we look at like new listings and then listings are sold, what's left after sales have taken place? That's the active listings at this very moment. So in January, about 7,400, and then as well increased along with the sales in March up to 10,603. Then we noticed a further increase. So it seemed like throughout the first 6 months of the year, there were more homes that were coming on the market as expected. Of course, people are a little bit more comfortable showing their home now. In June, we had 11,297 active listings, and then look what happened, because the number of active listings started to decline. August 8,200, September 9,100, October 7,750, and November only 6,000 active listings. This is the lowest point throughout the whole course of the year, and this is probably why our months of inventory is very low. It's the lowest it's been, and our average price is the highest it's been all year and in the whole history of the Greater Toronto Area. We have never experienced a market anything like this, and I'll admit I was actually expecting a little bit of a slowdown during the month of November, but it definitely looks like it did not happen. And then if we take a look at the months of inventory, so this gives us a general idea as far as whether it's a market that's advantageous for buyers or advantageous for sellers. So it was at 1.1 in January. It decreased down to 0.8 in February, then March 0.7, which is probably like one of the strongest times of the year to sell your home. It was the month of March. And then in April, increased. May was 1.03 and pretty much stayed around there, around the one figure from May up to September. And then in October, look at that. As the number of active listings decreased, similarly, so did the months of inventory. Our months of inventory was only 0.79 in October. And then in November, this is the lowest it's been all year at 0.67, which basically means this is the best time of the year to sell your home, hands down. And then if we take a look at our average price in January, that was the only month it was below $1 million, whereas it seems like our new normal is somewhere between $1,050,000 to 1.1 right now. In September, we broke the 1.1 figure. 1.13 million was our average price. In October, 1.15 million. And then November, our average price is $1,160,000. Absolutely incredible. And I can remember working with the buyer in November 2020, and they were buying a property for 1.6, and they asked me, Michael, do you really think values are going to continue to increase? And I said, there's actually a pretty good chance that they will. And look what's happened. They have gone up by over 15% for detached homes in the city of Toronto. If we look at our days on market, this moved in a similar fashion as our average price did, meaning the days on market, if it being high, means it's obviously less advantageous for sellers, more advantageous for buyers. So this was at 24 during the month of January, and then as the average price did increase, we can see that our days on market did decrease. In March and April, our days on market was only 10. Then we saw a slight increase, but nothing too significant. It was at 16 days on market during the month of August, and in November, 13 days on market. So So you can look at this and think, okay, maybe the market isn't as good as it was compared to March and April, but that's not true at all, because what days on market doesn't take into account for is the actual time it takes for a deal to be finalized. Sometimes we have to get a property sold, and then if it's a condo building, we have to wait for a status certificate. That could take a little bit of time. Maybe there's more condos selling. Maybe it's such that the prices are so outrageous right now that buyers are purchasing a property and the properties aren't being appraised for the price that was in the agreement of purchase and sale, and they have to get a second appraiser out. So I'm definitely not seeing that homes are taking any more time to sell in comparison to back in March and April time. Here in our next chart, we're looking at the average price by property type, and these numbers are very interesting, very surprising, because it was the end of the year of 2020 that we saw prices to really increase, sort of after that 6-month period when the pandemic was in full force and people were social distancing. So is we can see detached homes have increased by 30.3%. At our average price of $1,567,000. Semi-detached homes, they've experienced a lot of appreciation as well at 27.3% from November 2020 to November 2021, with our average semi-detached home selling for $1,206,000. Townhomes, they've as well gone up, pretty similar to semi-detached homes, by 28.1%, with our average townhome selling for $962,000. And look at that, condo apartments, they've gone up in value as well. They've gone up by 18%, with our average condo selling at $715,000. And this is what's most different, you can say, to the beginning of the year. Whereas the beginning of the year, if we looked at March and April, the market for detached homes, semi-detached homes, and townhomes, they were all going up in value, but condo markets didn't really experience that much appreciation. Whereas the past few months, we're seeing the appreciation is a little bit more spread from detached, semi-detached homes, townhomes, and now to condominiums. And oh boy, I cannot wait to show you this next chart over here. It's the 5-year historical average price. And what we're doing is we are comparing November 2021 to November 2020, November 2019, 2018, and 2017. And look at the increase specifically between 2019 to 2020 and 2020 to 2021. What we did see is only a slight increase from 2017 up till 2019, and that's because of the fact that in 2017, in April 2017 specifically, there was new rules that were put into place with respect to foreign purchasers. If you can recall back then, that's when the government slapped this 15% foreign tax on any foreign investors that purchased a property here in Toronto. So that caused the market to be a little bit stable. There weren't too many new listings. There certainly weren't bidding wars, and homes were taking up to 2 months to sell. However, if we look at the changes in the market from 2019 to 2020, the average price went up by 13%. But if we look at 2020 to 2021, the market and the average price actually increased by 21.8%, which is obviously a lot of appreciation, especially considering the years prior, which goes again to prove that real estate is most likely going to be a great investment long term, especially when comparing it to stocks or cryptocurrency. And I hope you all found this information helpful. If you are considering buying or selling, then call me. My contact information is in the description box below, and I'll look forward to seeing you all next time.